Tuia i runga, tuia i raro, tuia te ere tangata i a nuku ārangi. Kia puanga kairau, kia matariki a unga nui. Tō matatini me pā ki roto, tō matatini me pā ki wao. Kia ora ia te kura, e kura nui, e kura roa. E kura takatū mai ia rongo take take. Ka rongo te pō, ka rongo te ao. Ka rongo i te a i kāroa, i tūārangi te waka eke nei. Ka waka eke te aukai kia tina, ka waka eke te aukai kia toka, ka waka eke te aukai kia uru ora. Witi, wano, tau mai te mauri, aumi e, ui e, tā iki e.
Our world is changing and we're in uncharted territory as the climate system is gaining heat everywhere. In the first 100 years of the Industrial Revolution, that's 1750 to 1850, the total amount of carbon dioxide we as humans produced adds up to only 7 weeks of emissions at today's rates. 7 trillion tonnes of ice melted off Greenland and Antarctica in only 20 years. 7 trillion tonnes. Every tenth of a degree of warming adds to the number of heat waves, droughts and floods we experience. At 2 degrees of warming, the Great Barrier Reef and all tropical coral reefs will be gone. In New Zealand, the fire season is set to double or triple in length in eastern parts of the country.
Indigenous communities around the world and across Te Moana Nui a Kiwa are facing the reality of climate change. Loss of land, loss of language, loss of culture, and loss of life.
We're guaranteed at least half a metre of sea level rise this century, and that will put billions of dollars of infrastructure and property at risk. The Hutt Valley will flood more often, and at the same time rising sea levels will push up the water table, making it harder for Te Awa Kairangi to drain the floodwaters away. With 2 degrees of warming, major floods in Te Awa Kairangi would happen 3 times more often than they do now. The sooner we slow global warming, the less damage there will be to us and to all ecosystems. If any country in the world can do this, it's us, New Zealand. And within New Zealand, Lower Hutt can be a leader in the community response, helping to inspire others and to make the change we need.
Kia ora koutou. It is really exciting to be able to talk to you about our beloved Awa Kairangi, Hutt Valley. Thinking about Awa Kairangi and the changes that have happened over long periods of time. Awa Kairangi, which was a kahikatea forest with amazing bird life, with amazing soil, with a river that was allowed to run where she wanted. It's incredibly important for us to look after the environment. For Māori, this is about who we are as kaitiaki, mana whenua, and it's about looking after papatūānuku, whenua tapu, our tonga. Our response to climate change is one we must face together. Our challenge is to look at the world from a different perspective. Khalil Gibran wrote, "It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles in fear. She looks back at the path she has travelled from the peaks of the mountains, the long winding road crossing forests and villages, and in front of her she sees an ocean so vast that to enter seems more than to disappear forever. But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean, because only then will fear disappear. We must adapt, but that does not mean we need to be fearful. Working through the belief systems in Te Ao Māori can help us respond. WAIRUATANGA speaks to how we're all connected, even as individuals. We are interrelated into everything. KOTAHITANGA, the concept of togetherness, unity and collective action, lifting each other up and identifying as one. MANAAKITANGA, extending aroha and love, compassion to others. We must think to the future for our mokopuna and think 100, 200, 500 years out, because that is the way our tupuna thought.
This is the challenge. It starts today, and it starts with us. Take action to limit global warming and build climate resilience.
I am part of a leadership group in Lower Hutt that is working with the community to understand how we respond together. We need technology solutions, we need government and big business to move us in the right direction, but ultimately it comes down to people getting out there, making our voices heard, and getting involved to help shape what we need for the future.
Our strategy and climate change response will be done with the people, for the people, choosing how we mitigate and adapt to the impacts of climate change. As New Zealand's 7th largest city, we're pretty big, so we can make a real difference. Building a better future means supporting zero carbon technology, using different modes of transport and energy production, being efficient in our energy use, and reducing waste.
What we need to be thinking about is all those things we can do personally to make change work for us, but also to advocate for change nationally and regionally and in our Hutt Valley. As mana whenua, as people of the valley, it's important to consider this, to get involved and to help drive those changes that Aotearoa New Zealand need to provide for that future.
Come along and share your whakaaro, ideas and views on how we as a community respond to climate change. While your contribution may seem small, it will have huge benefits for our future and the next generations.
Kia tau, kia tātou katoa, te atu whai o tō tātou ariki a ihu karaiti. Me te aroha o te atua, me te whiwhi ngā tahitanga ki te wairua tapu, ake ake, āmeni.